Check it out. Look, we from the bottom, ain't no problems, we gon' make a way. Got no coach on the field, but we making plays. Hey, look, don't worry, we gon' be okay. Hey, look, why? Cause we gon' make them pay.
What's going down, gamblers around the world? It's the coach here representing Brothas N Bets. And I'm here with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Marley Bets. Marley, what's going down with you? I hear myself.
What'd you say?
I said I hear myself.
Oh, you hear yourself. Oh, okay. Hey, is that TV too loud? I know we get in trouble for shit like that. Do I need to mute that, turn it off, or what?
You can't really see it because you're blocking it. But I hear myself. So you must got a phone watching the show or something.
Nah, it's the TV. The phone is not.
Mic check. Okay.
I don't hear no echo.
Nah, it wasn't an echo. It was. It sounded like your phone was playing the show. So.
Nah.
But anywho, hey man, we right now 3-0 for today. For Sweet 16 action, I'm sitting at 2-0. Looking good right now with this Texas Tech taking care of business early within the first 5 minutes against Duke.
Yeah, so Duke just went on a 5-0 run. So let's
Duke did. So what's the score now?
Last I seen, I just turned it off. It was 11-12.
Oh, okay.
But
nice.
my TV a little behind because I streamed it. So
yeah, because when I was paying attention to it while the intro was going on, it was 12-4. So we got us a game going on, man. But anywho, man, let's kind of jump right in it because the Cougars about to get ready to play. I got a crazy parlay going. You got money on it. The people's got money. So we just want to cover the games, kind of go rapid fire for the games that's going down tomorrow. But here's our record so far. Was able to get over that 500 mark, and I'm sitting at 9-7 right now. Hopefully that could be 11-7 by the end of the day. Marley looking good, sitting at 15-6 on the March Madness, and 3-0 on our locks. Which one of those was my lock yesterday? I made yesterday for today. Villanova first half -2, so they covered it by 1 full point, man. So looking blessed, but. With that being said, let's jump right into our first game that's going down Friday. This is going down in the Wells Fargo Center at 7:09 Eastern Standard Time. We're talking about the Cinderella St. Peter's Peacocks sitting at 21-11, 23-9 against the spread, going up against the Purdue Boilermakers out of the Big Ten, sitting at 29-7 on the year, 15-20-1 against the spread. Check out, see if there's any injury reports right now for St. Peter's. No, and as we know, Purdue had Waddle and Kaufman Wren out. So for the majority of the season, that doesn't matter. But this line originally opened up -13. Right now, sitting at 12.5, and the total opened up at 136.5. Right now, that line's at 133.5. Get to these actual factuals. Right now, St. Peter's, they beat Murray State 70-60, while the Purdue Boilermakers beat Texas 81-71. Actual factuals for St. Peter's, they're 9-0 against the spread in the last 9 games, 9-0 straight up in the last 9 games, 5-0 against the spread in the last 5 games of the season, 1-6 straight up in the last 7 games against a Big Ten conference opponent, 7-0 against the spread in the last 7 games, 8-1 straight up in the last 9 games when playing on a Friday, and the overs hit 7 out of the last 8 games whenever they're playing as an underdog. Purdue sitting at 2-7 against the spread in the last 9 games. The unders hit 9 out of the last 12 games. They are 5-1 straight up in the last 6 games, 4-1 straight up in the last 5 games this season, 8-0 straight up in the last 8 games against a Metro Athletic Conference opponent, 2-7 against the spread in the last 9 games in the month of March, and the unders hit 4 out of the last 5 games whenever Purdue plays on Friday. So Purdue Boilermakers taking on St. Peter's Peacocks. Marley, what's your play?
I'm rocking with Cinderella, dog. I'm not ready to get off. Can't go against K. That's like going against Nick Saban. Well, goddamn it, SBO, we did that shit today. God damn it. I'm on the Raiders.
Get ready to the ref. Oh, that might be a tip.
Win or lose, that's what we did. Duke cutting down the Knicks. Oh, SBO, I don't know about cutting down the Knicks. They could win tonight.
You talking about Nova? He talking about Nova.
He said Duke. Duke cutting down the Knicks.
Oh, SBO said Duke, but
SBO said
Andrew,
Duke. Oh yeah, we was all over that Nova, Andrew. Yeah, we both was over that Nova. I was on that Nova first half and full game, and I agree with you. They could be cutting down those nets. I don't know about Duke, but anyway, St. Peter's. I like the 13. Look, the numbers are not going to justify St. Peter's going up against Purdue. We already know what the numbers are, right? There's no point in even doing that. But what I will say, over their last 10, St. Peter's, they're 9-1. Neutral site, they're 5-0. As a favorite, 6-1. As a dog, they're 3-0. So I just think personally at this time of year, 13 points is too much. I don't care how good Purdue is. St. P got all the momentum. All the pressure is on Purdue. Like St. P, nobody predicted them to be in the Sweet 16. Nobody predicted them to get past the first round. So they're playing basketball. They're relaxed. I like those Jersey boys. They tough. So I'm going to keep riding with them. I'm going to take the 13. I just think it's too many points. I don't know who wins this game. I don't know if Cinderella keeps dancing, but I do think they cover for sure. So I'm going to rock with St. Pete. I'm going to take that 13. I'm really looking at that first half with the 7. I mean, probably be 6.5, 7, but 13 is just way too much for me. So give me that. Put that in my back pocket.
Yeah, man. I'm right with you. On the crazy parlay, though, I do just have Purdue winning Purdue winning money line on this crazy as parlay that if I hit, that's 12 G's. Say what?
You did like a 2-day parlay.
Yeah, and included it's like it's a 10 teamer. So right now I'm 3-0 on it.
Them hoes are good, bro. Them hoes doable. I've hit like 2 7-teamer, 8-teamers,
right.
like.
Well, I started getting those articles about really what motivated me was that guy that hit that 25 team, and I'm like, man, I need to get that.
What? 25 team, bro?
Yeah, this cat over the weekend hit a 25 team money line parlay.
Wow,
$25. Guess how much it won?
I don't know.
100,000.
Wow, no shit, no shit.
100,000. Okay. I posted in the chat. But anywho, 13 points is way too much at this point. Purdue, the big men tend to get into foul trouble early, especially the 7-7 cat, because the referees just have a hard time refereeing, calling the game whenever he's in. So I'm riding with New Jersey boys too. St. Peter's plus 13 for this game. I do think Purdue will win it outright. So, hey, we appreciate everybody tuning in. I am the coach. That is Marley Bets. And right now we are sitting at a tie ball game 15 up in the Duke and Texas Tech game. And right now, Houston is up 9-4 against Arizona. So let's
go Cougs.
Let's get to our next game. And we're talking about the Providence Friars going up against the Kansas Jayhawks. This game is going down in the United Center. This is a 7:30 Eastern Standard Time game. The Friars are 27-5 on the year, 19-13 against the spread, while the Kansas Jayhawks are 30-6 on the year, 18-18 against the spread. This line opened up in favor of Kansas -8. There are some 7s out there, but there is 7.5 as a consensus. And the total hasn't moved at all. It's opened up where it's been at, so not too much movement or maybe not even action at all really on that game. Both Providence, they are healthy, and the same guys that have been out for the majority of the season are out for Kansas. Last time we seen Providence, they won 79-51 against Richmond. And the last time we see Kansas, they won 79-72 against Creighton. Get to these actual factions real quick. Providence, they're 5-2 against spread in the last 7 games. The unders hit 4 out of the last 6. They are 14-3 straight up in the last 17 games, 6-2 straight up in the last 8 games this season, 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 games against a Big 12 conference opponent. The unders hit 6 out of the last 8 games when Providence plays in the month of March, and they are 1-7 against the spread in the last 8 games, and 8-2 straight up in the last 10 games when playing as an underdog. Kansas actual factors, they're 5-1 against the spread in the last 6 games, 7-0 straight up in the last 7 games, 5-0 straight up in the last 5 games this season. 5-1 straight up in the last 6 games against a Big East Conference opponent. 5-1 against the spread in the last 6 games in the month of March. The overs hit 15 out of the last 19 games played on a Friday. They are 5-1 against the spread in the last 6 games when playing as a favorite as well. So Kansas taking on Providence. Marley, what's your play?
I like Providence here, Coach. I'm real high on Kansas. We talk about the Big 12 all the time being one of the better conferences in the league. I like Providence's coach. sometimes I get them confused with Purdue. That's the black dude with the patch in the back of his head,
Correct.
right? Yep, right. I like their coach. I like their guard play. We know in tournament time, guard play is what dominates the tournament. I like Nate Watson, 13 and 13. He on averages 13 and a half points. It's not like he's carrying a lot, but between him and Bynum together, Bynum is 4.1 assists, 12 points. I just like that duo together, even though obviously Agbaji is probably the best player that's going to be on the court. We know McCormick. I think Kansas wins the game ultimately. I just think 7.5 is personally too much for me for a good, solid basketball team in Providence. Over their last 10 games, they're 7-3. They're 0-2 as a dog, which keep in mind, but the 7-1 is a favorite. And in neutral site games, they're 2-2. So I like I said, I don't think they win the game. I think Kansas is the better team. I just don't think they win by 8 points. I think I said this earlier. We in the Sweet 16. All these teams are good. I don't think we're going to see too many blowouts, or too many double digit favorites like that. So I like Providence here. I like the 7.5 in my pocket. I don't think we get an 8-point win.
Yeah, I'm backing my boys. Providence been finalist team for the last 3 years. I like Providence right here with the 7.5 for everything that Marty said, plus some. And they are one of the top super seniors teams right now. I mean, a lot of these guys chose to come back and play as a squad and get to this point. So I definitely would not be surprised if they win this game, but I'm taking the 7.5 with those points.
Yeah, I just think that's too many points for a team that got a chance to win outright.
Correct. So, hey, we appreciate everybody tuning in. I'm the coach. This is Marley Best. Right now, we are having an undefeated day so far with my picks, Marley picks, and the lock of the day. And we still got 2 more games coming. So we're gonna keep this moving, man, because we're ready to keep this thing rolling. We appreciate that, pal. We definitely appreciate that. So this is going to be a great game tomorrow. And we're talking about the UCLA Bruins sitting at 27-7 on the year, 18-15-1 against the spread, going up against the North Carolina Tar Heels, who are sitting at 26-9 on the year, 18-16-1 against the spread. This line opened up in favor of UCLA -3. There has been some movement to bring it down to 2 as of right now. And as far as the total, it opened up at 142.5. Right now, that line's at 141.5. Injury reports right now, we already know Harris has been out for the season. Garcia and Johnson all for North Carolina. And Jacques Jr., he is questionable for this game. He left the last game with an ankle injury. So we definitely need to pay attention to Twitter for that come tip-off time.
That's big.
Yeah, definitely. North Carolina, last time we seen them, they beat Baylor 93-86 in the game that they pretty much had control of since tip-off. And UCLA took on St. Mary's and beat them 72-56 in the game that they kind of just took off in the second half. Actual factuals for North Carolina, they are 6-1 against the spread in the last 7 games. The overs hit 11 out of the last 15 games. They are 8-1 straight up in the last 9 games this season. 5-0 against the spread in the last 5 games against UCLA. 5-0 straight up in the last 5 games against UCLA. 10-2 straight up in the last 12 games. 16-0 straight up in the last 16 games whenever they play against a Pac-12 conference opponent. 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 games in the month of March. And the overs hit 5 out of the last 6 games whenever North Carolina is playing as an underdog. Let's get to these actual factors for UCLA. They are 8-4 against the spread in the last 12 games. The overs hit 6 out of the last 8. They are 7-1 straight up in the last 8 games. 10-2 straight up in the last 12 games this season. 0-9 against the spread in the last 9 games against the ACC conference opponent. 10-1 straight up in the last 11 games played in the month of March. 5-0 against the spread in the last 5 games played on a Friday. And the overs hit 5 out of the last 7 games whenever UCLA is playing as a favorite. So UCLA, North Carolina, most likely the game of tomorrow.
Yes.
Marley, what's your play?
Told you this before the tournament started about your boys. I don't think they're going to make that run they made last year. And with that being said, got the Tar Heels. I like the money line. I think I think this is a team that definitely hit their stride late in the season. Um, Me and Moneyline was talking earlier about this team, and I feel like they had a down year, the Tar Heels. But one thing that we do know, even though they had a down year, this team is filled with 5-star talent all over the
Right.
court. So they're capable of beating anybody, even though they had a down year. So I think they hit their stride in the tournament. I don't believe UCLA is going to make that run that they made last year, because I believe last year they caught a lot of people slipping. Um, and at this point, North Carolina's just hot, man. I wonder how this team is in basketball. 3-1 in the neutral site, 3-0 as a dog. 8-2 in their last 10 games. 3-1 on a neutral site. I feel like I said that already. So, and I just feel like Bakat Armando, the big guy inside, the junior. I feel like he's been in North Carolina for like 7 years. Man is a walking double-double. I think they're going to punish him on the inside. I think they feeling confident after the Baylor win, and with Baylor coming back, I think it's gonna be hard to catch them slipping, because they had that game in complete control. Baylor came back, they went to overtime. I don't think that's gonna happen again. So, give me the Tar Heels, dog. I don't want the +2. I like the money line. I think they win outright.
Yeah, and I'm on the money line as well with Tar Heels. They're just trending up. They're trending up in a major way right now, and I think they're living very, very high off that defeat since they beat who's it, Duke
Duke.
in Coach K's last game. So I'm right there with you. I like UNC for everything that you're saying. They do got the bigger team as far as down low in the post area, so I'm and the more experience
One thing before
team
we go,
down
you
low.
brought up that Duke win. I think that Duke loss woke their ass up
When
when
they
they
Duke
went
came in their house.
and blew their ass out. I can't remember
Yeah,
what if they lost the next game or two, or how many games they lost after that till now. But I think that game is what something went. We tripping.
right.
We tripping.
Hey, we appreciate everybody tuning in. I am the coach. This is Marley Bets, and we are Brothas Bets. And right now, Duke is winning 24-22 with 7 minutes left into the first
We
half
good.
with the rebound, and they're probably shooting this three. Take it down low to Banchira, and Tech has the ball. And as
I
far
want
as
that too.
the Arizona game, it looks like Houston's up 16-9 right now
Yes,
in the
sir.
early
We got that.
in the first half. So
Tell Duke ain't none of that shit today. They ain't at home. Ain't none of that shit.
yeah, and
SBO ain't none of that shit today.
and then live for our last game for tomorrow's Friday Sweet 16 action, and the last game of Sweet 16 round period. We're talking about Iowa State Cyclones sitting at 22-12 on the year, 19-15 against the spread, taking on the Miami Hurricanes, who are sitting at 25-10 on the year, 20-15 against the spread. This game starts at 9. Basically, I hate when they do this. They got 9:59 Eastern Standard Time. Just say
I
10
know,
o'clock.
like just say fucking
10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, man. This line opened up in favor of Iowa State -1. That line has since switched to favor of Miami -2.5. And the total opened up at 133.5. Right now, that line's at 133. Injury reports right now, Iowa State, they are healthy. And then we know Miami lost Beverly a while back. So he's been out for the season. Last time we seen Iowa State, they beat Wisconsin 54-49. And when we seen Miami, they took care of business against an Auburn team that a lot of people, including myself, thought they were a Final Four contender team. They beat them 79-61 to take care to advance to the Sweet 16 round. Actual factors for Iowa State: they are 6-3 against the spread in the last 9 games. The unders hit 4 of the last 5 games. They are 6-3 straight up in the last 9 games. The total's gone under 4 out of the last 6 games this season. They are 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 games against the ACC conference opponent. 2-11 straight up in the last 13 games. The unders hit 4 out of the last 5 when playing against Iowa State. Whenever Iowa State plays on a Friday. Actual factors for Miami: they are 5-1 against the spread in the last 6 games. The overs hit 6 out of the last 9 games. 5-1 straight up in the last 6 games. 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 games. 1-5 against the spread in the last 6 games against a Big 12 conference opponent. 5-1 straight up in the last 6 games played in the month of March. The overs hit 5 out of the last 6 games. On a Friday for Miami, and the overs hit 5 out of the last 5 games whenever they're playing as a favorite. So the Hurricanes represent the U of Miami taking on the Iowa State Cyclones. Marley, what's your play? All right. So our plays are identical for today, but go ahead.
I like the money line here. These are probably I'm gonna be 100% honest with everybody. These are at least 2 teams that followed the most out of all the teams that are left. I was on Iowa State early in the season. Too many letdowns for me. Caught Miami a couple times, but not a whole lot. But what I do know is, said this last segment, I think, the tournament is dominated by guard play, if you don't know that by now. And Miami, I think they got 3 guards. I know they got 2, but I think they got 3, if I'm not mistaken. You got Cameron McGusty and you got Jordan Miller. I know they run a 3-guard system. I'm not tripping. And right now, they shooting the lights out right now. They're killing on defense. They're averaging 74 points a game in their last 10 games, while opponents are averaging 69. They're shooting 46.9% from the field and getting 9.2 steals per game. So they're D'ing up. I'm going to take your motto, Coach, when teams are hot, even though, both teams are hot, clearly they're in the Sweet 16. So I'm not going to say Iowa State is trending down, but I feel like Miami is trending way, way, way up here. I'm going to take the money line. I want to fuck with the 2.5. I do think it will be a tight game, but I'm loving Miami here. I took Miami against Auburn. I took the +7. I took the first half money line, came back at halftime, took second half money line. So, I've been all over this Miami team the last 2 games. I'm going to keep rocking with them. I think they take control of Iowa State. I want money line first half and money line full game.
Okay. Well, I'm on that full game money line for everything that you said. I mean, we got identical plays. But I'm not going to say
we got all the same plays today.
Besides the first half, I'm not going to do any first half plays for this game. But I like this Miami team. They've been competitive all season long. Iowa State started off hot during the middle of the season, went on a crazy cold streak, and then now they're playing great ball at the right time. But I think it all comes to the end this week, tomorrow or today if you're watching this once it's cut up. They take care of business today against Miami. So that's my pick, and I'm running with it. Hey, we appreciate everybody tuning in. I am the coach. This is Marley Bets. Texas Tech is up 27-24.
Let's go.
And it looks like I can't really
take
tell.
First half or full game on that tape or both yesterday?
No, we just took full game.
You just took full game.
But as far as today's games, Marley, he likes St. Peter's +13, Providence +7.5, North Carolina money line, and Miami money line for both the first half and full game. As for myself, I like St. Peter's +13, Providence +7.5, North Carolina money line, and Miami money line. So those are our plays.
How you gonna go against your boys right there before we go?
Because hey man, they trending up, and I like the way they're playing and being real competitive right now. So I think all the Pac-12 teams are fading out right now. This is their last.
You know how I feel about the Pac-12, so I won't say that.
Yeah, man. So hey, we appreciate that, Marley. If you lead them in prayer, we can get out of here because we got some great action going on right now that we need to get caught up.
That is a bet. As always, people, man, y'all like, comment, subscribe. This is Brothas N Bets. I am Marley Bets. That is the coach. And as always, like every day, tonight and tomorrow, y'all know what we're trying to do. Let's beat Vegas. And we out this
Check it out. Look, we from the bottom, ain't no problems, we gon' make a way. Got no coach on the field, but we making plays. Hey, look, don't worry, we gon' be okay. Hey, look, why? Cause we gon' make them pay.